Did you know that when disaster strikes, stores don't actually run out of supplies? They hide them. While you're frantically searching empty shelves for bottled water, the real essentials are already locked away in back rooms, quietly distributed to staff, VIPs, and those in the know. What if I told you there are 8 specific items that disappear faster than toilet paper during a pandemic? And most people have no clue they even matter. Hit that subscribe button because what I'm about to reveal could save your life when everyone else is left empty-handed. 1. Heavy-duty aluminum foil. The boring item that's actually a game changer. Look, aluminum foil sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry. Most folks think it's just for wrapping leftover pizza or covering casseroles. But here's what the survival community doesn't want you to know. This stuff is basically a Swiss Army knife in disguise. When disaster hits, heavy-duty foil vanishes faster than free samples at Costco. Why? Because smart preppers know this isn't just kitchen wrap. This is fireproof, waterproof, moldable survival gear that can literally save your life in dozens of ways. Need to cook without a stove? Foil becomes your cookware over an open fire. Create a makeshift oven by lining a cardboard box. Instant solar cooking. Freezing your butt off? It reflects body heat back to you like a personal heater, turning a death trap into a warm shelter. Want a signal for rescue? Nothing flashes brighter in sunlight than a clean sheet of foil. Worried about electronic surveillance or electromagnetic pulses? Wrap your devices. Instant Faraday cage protection. But here's where it gets really interesting. Aluminum foil isn't just survival gear, it's post-apocalypse currency. The kicker? It's pure gold for bartering. When society starts crumbling, people will trade anything for something that can cook, heat, reflect, and protect. You can line fire pits, shield windows, create windbreaks for camp stoves, or even fashion emergency signaling devices. The problem is that foil is bulky, takes up valuable shelf space, and retailers quietly limit purchases when panic sets in. During Hurricane Sandy, stores in affected areas ran out of heavy-duty foil within hours, leaving desperate families with nothing but flimsy kitchen wrap that tears at the first sign of real use. Pro move. Skip the flimsy stuff entirely. Go for industrial grade, extra wide rolls that can handle real survival tasks, the kind used by professional kitchens and construction sites. Stock up now, because when the shelves go bare, you'll be kicking yourself for not grabbing this boring essential that everyone else overlooked. 2. Heavy-duty rubber gloves. Your lifeline against the gross stuff. Here's a reality check nobody talks about. When civilization breaks down, everything gets disgusting fast. Sewage backs up, trash piles up, water gets contaminated, and suddenly you're handling things that could literally kill you with one tiny exposure. Those cheap yellow dishwashing gloves hanging in the cleaning aisle? Forget about it. You need industrial-grade, elbow-length protection that won't tear when you're dealing with contaminated water, human waste, hazardous chemicals, or infected materials. We're talking about thick, textured grip gloves that reach your forearms and can handle anything disaster throws at you. Think about it logically. One tiny cut on your hand while handling nasty stuff, and you're looking at a life-threatening infection with no hospital to run to. These gloves create an impenetrable barrier between you and death. They're your first line of defense against bacteria, viruses, chemicals, and biohazards that multiply like crazy when sanitation systems fail. During every major crisis, hurricanes, pandemics, natural disasters, civil unrest, medical facilities, and cleaning crews buy these in bulk, leaving regular folks scrambling. Stores quietly redirect inventory to essential workers. And guess what? You're not on that list. COVID proved this when hospitals hoarded protective equipment, while regular people couldn't find basic safety gear anywhere. But here's the genius part that most people miss. These gloves are incredibly versatile beyond protection. Fill them with hot water and boom. Instant hand warmers that last for hours. Use them for handling fuel without contamination, wound care without infection risk, or insulating your hands in freezing, wet conditions. They're waterproof, chemical-resistant, and reusable if properly cleaned. The psychological factor is huge too. When everything's falling apart and you're forced to handle disgusting, dangerous materials, having proper protection gives you confidence to do what needs doing. Without gloves, you hesitate, take unnecessary risks, or avoid critical tasks entirely. Get industrial grade with textured grips that reach your forearms. Buy 3 pairs minimum. One for your emergency kit, one for home use, one for your vehicle. Because when everything goes sideways, these gloves are the difference between staying healthy and becoming another casualty of poor preparation. 3. Rechargeable hand warmers. Silent heat. When the grid goes dark, when the power dies, so does your heat. While everyone's fighting over firewood, propane heaters, and candles, smart survivors are grabbing something small, silent, and incredibly effective. Rechargeable hand warmers. These pocket-sized lifesavers might look insignificant, but in a grid-down winter scenario, they're absolute game changers. Cold weather isn't just uncomfortable, it's a silent killer. Your body burns precious energy trying to stay warm, making you tired, slow, and mentally foggy. Your fingers go numb, your grip fails, and suddenly basic survival tasks like tying knots, bandaging wounds, or operating tools become impossible. Hypothermia creeps in gradually, clouding your judgment until you make fatal mistakes. These rechargeable units deliver steady, controlled heat for 6 to 12 hours with zero noise, zero fuel consumption, and zero toxic fumes. Unlike fires or fuel heaters that announce your location to everyone within miles, hand warmers are completely silent and invisible. Slip them in your gloves for dexterous hands. Tuck them in your sleeping bag for core warmth. Or use them to revive electronics that hate freezing temperatures. The secret weapon nobody talks about? Many models double as power banks with USB charging capabilities. You're not just staying warm, you're keeping your phone, radio, flashlight, and other critical devices alive too. It's like having a portable heating system and backup power source in one compact package. Why do these disappear instantly from stores? They're seasonal items that retailers barely stock outside winter months. Once temperatures drop or blackouts start, they vanish for weeks, maybe months. Supply chains for these specialty items are fragile, and restocking during emergencies is nearly impossible. During the Texas freeze of 2021, these sold out statewide within hours and didn't reappear for months. The psychological benefits are massive too. When you're warm and comfortable while everyone else is shivering and miserable, you maintain mental clarity and decision-making ability. Cold stress clouds judgment and leads to panic, exactly what gets people killed in survival situations. Don't just buy one. Get at least 2 so you can use one while the other charges. Look for models with adjustable heat settings, automatic safety shutoff, and quality lithium-ion batteries. Avoid cheap knockoffs that'll die when you need them most. Quality units last for years and hundreds of charge cycles. When temperatures drop and everyone else is desperately burning furniture to stay warm, you'll be comfortable, quiet, and thinking clearly. In survival scenarios, that mental and physical edge can mean the difference between making it through and becoming another casualty. 4. Backup reading glasses. The vision solution nobody thinks about. Here's a brutal truth that nobody discusses in survival circles. Your eyes can betray you when you need them most. If you're over 40, or even if you think your vision is perfect, losing the ability to see fine details can completely cripple your survival chances when it matters most. Picture this nightmare scenario. You're trying to read critical medication dosages for a sick family member, repair essential gear with tiny components, thread fishing line to catch food, or stitch up a serious wound. If your vision is even slightly compromised and your only pair of glasses breaks, gets lost, or stolen, you're not just inconvenienced, you're potentially facing death. Multiple pairs of cheap reading glasses become your lifeline to functionality. These aren't prescription lenses requiring doctor visits or eye exams. Just grab common magnification strengths like +1.5, +2.0, +2.5, and +3.0, and you've got most vision issues covered. They're lightweight, virtually indestructible, and easy to stash everywhere. In long-term blackout scenarios, clear vision isn't convenience. It's survival. Reading maps accurately, inspecting water filters for damage, making precision cuts on materials, identifying edible plants, or performing first aid all require sharp eyesight. One mistake because you couldn't see clearly could kill you or someone you love. These vanish from stores because they're incredibly cheap, easy to hoard, and chronically understocked. When crisis hits, people suddenly realize how much they depend on their vision for everything. Add supply chain disruptions, no available optometrists, and mass panic buying, and these become impossible to find. During COVID lockdowns, reading glasses disappeared from stores as people worked from home and realized their vision wasn't as good as they thought. Here's the bonus that makes these pure gold. Reading glasses are incredible barter items. People who never thought they'd need vision assistance will trade valuable supplies when their survival depends on seeing clearly. A $5 pair of glasses could be worth a week's food in the right situation. The psychological impact is enormous too. Struggling to see clearly creates stress, frustration, and dangerous hesitation when quick decisions matter. Clear vision gives you confidence to act decisively when seconds count. Test different magnification strengths now, while you have time to find your optimal power. Then buy at least 5 pairs and scatter them strategically. Emergency kit, vehicle, home locations, bug-out bag. Consider getting safety glasses with magnification for eye protection plus vision correction. Those cheap reading glasses sitting in the pharmacy section will feel absolutely priceless when your vision starts failing and every store is cleaned out of anything useful. 5. Industrial strength bug spray, your invisible shield against disease. Most people obsess over food shortages and power outages when planning for disasters. But let me tell you what'll actually break you first. Insects. Mosquitoes, ticks, flies, and other disease-carrying pests aren't just annoying. They're invisible killers that multiply explosively when sanitation systems fail. One infected bite can trigger fever, systemic infection, or life-threatening illness when medical help is unavailable. That's why serious insect repellent isn't luxury camping gear, it's literal life insurance. And I'm not talking about that pleasant-smelling lavender-scented spray marketed to weekend campers. You need military-grade DEET or picaridin formulations that create an impenetrable chemical barrier. When sanitation infrastructure collapses, insects multiply like a biblical plague. Garbage piles up, creating breeding grounds. Standing water collects everywhere, and pest populations explode overnight. Mosquitoes carry West Nile virus, Zika, dengue fever, and malaria. Ticks spread Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and dozens of other pathogens. Flies contaminate food and water sources with bacteria that cause deadly dysentery. The psychological torture aspect is equally devastating. Try sleeping outdoors with mosquitoes buzzing around your head all night. You'll lose your sanity within days. Sleep deprivation, combined with constant insect harassment, breaks people faster than hunger or cold. Quality bug spray creates a protective bubble that maintains your mental health and physical safety simultaneously. Every summer blackout, natural disaster, or infrastructure failure triggers massive insect explosions. People panic buy repellent faster than stores can restock from seasonal suppliers. During Hurricane Katrina, insect-borne diseases became a major secondary crisis as pest populations exploded in flooded areas. COVID lockdowns saw unprecedented demand as people spent more time outdoors and camping. The strategic advantage is huge too. While everyone else is slapping at bugs, scratching infected bites, and losing sleep, you're comfortable, rested, and functional. That psychological edge translates into better decision-making, improved physical performance, and maintained morale when everything else is falling apart. Always choose spray formulations over lotions. Better coverage area, longer-lasting protection, and you can treat clothing, gear, and shelter materials too. Stock various sized containers. Large bottles for base camp use, medium bottles for daily application, and mini containers for bug-out bags and pocket carry. The barter value is incredible because insect problems get worse over time during extended crises. People who initially ignored bug protection will desperately trade valuable supplies for relief from constant pest harassment. Insect bites seem trivial until you're scratching yourself raw, can't sleep, and dealing with infections you can't treat. One quality can of industrial bug spray creates an invisible force field between you and chaos. 6. Hand crank coffee grinder. The caffeine lifeline you never considered? Coffee disappears from store shelves faster than almost anything during emergencies. And for millions of caffeine-dependent people, losing their daily fix isn't just inconvenience. It's a legitimate medical crisis. Severe headaches, crushing fatigue, irritability, and mental fog are exactly what you don't need when trying to stay sharp during life-threatening situations. Most people stock pre-ground coffee, but here's the problem. ground coffee goes stale within weeks, losing potency and flavor rapidly. Coffee beans, however, stay fresh for months when properly stored, maintaining their caffeine content and psychological benefits much longer. The catch? Beans are completely useless without the right tool. A manual coffee grinder that works when the power grid is dead. Electric grinders become expensive paperweights the moment electricity disappears. You need hand crank reliability that functions anywhere, anytime, with zero external power requirements. Quality manual grinders are compact, durable, and deliver fresh, strong coffee regardless of your situation or location. But coffee provides way more than just caffeine. It's psychological armor against despair. That familiar morning ritual resets your brain, reduces stress hormones, and provides mental clarity to face whatever hell the day might bring. It's a precious slice of normalcy and comfort in a world that's completely fallen apart. The smell alone can boost morale and remind you that civilization still exists somewhere. The barter value is astronomical because coffee becomes genuine currency during extended crises. People will trade valuable supplies for quality coffee, but only those with functional grinders have real leverage in these transactions. You control the supply chain from bean to cup, making you incredibly valuable to any survival community. Manual grinders disappear quickly because they're specialty items that most retailers barely stock. They're not impulse purchases like electric models, so inventory levels stay low year-round. When panic buyers and experienced preppers sweep through stores, these vanish immediately. With disrupted supply chains, restocking can take many months. The learning curve matters too. These aren't intuitive devices. You need practice to achieve consistent grind sizes and efficient operation. Starting this learning process during a crisis is stupid and wasteful. Master the technique now while you have time and patience. Invest in stainless steel construction with adjustable grind settings and ergonomic, non-slip grips. Cheap plastic models break under stress, and inconsistent grind sizes ruin coffee extraction. Practice using it regularly so muscle memory develops. Store beans in airtight containers away from light, heat, and moisture to maximize shelf life. You might laugh at prioritizing coffee during disasters, but when everyone else is battling severe withdrawal symptoms, you'll be alert, focused, calm, and in complete control. That cognitive edge can mean the difference between thriving and barely surviving when clear thinking matters most. 7. Travel-size mouthwash. The tiny germ killer nobody thinks about. Those insignificant little mouthwash bottles in the travel section look completely worthless, but in survival scenarios they transform into powerhouses of life-saving utility. When clean water becomes scarce and dental hygiene becomes impossible, that tiny bottle becomes your shield against deadly oral infections. Poor oral health isn't just about bad breath. It spirals rapidly into serious infections, painful abscesses, and systemic health problems that are impossible to treat without modern medical intervention. Mouth bacteria doesn't care about your survival situation. It keeps multiplying aggressively, turning minor issues into life-threatening emergencies within days. Travel mouthwash kills harmful bacteria, prevents dangerous infections, and maintains critical hygiene when everything else is falling apart. But the utility extends far beyond oral care. This stuff disinfects wounds better than most first aid supplies, cleans tools and surfaces, and sanitizes drinking containers when you're not sure about contamination levels. The compact size is genius for emergency preparedness. Maximum utility with minimal weight and space requirements. Unlike bulky hygiene products, these fit perfectly in bug-out bags, glove compartments, first aid kits, and pocket carry without adding significant burden to your gear loadout. These vanish quickly because they're small, incredibly useful, and stores chronically understocked travel-sized hygiene products. During past crises like COVID lockdowns, hurricane evacuations, and natural disasters, travel hygiene items disappeared first as people suddenly realized their value for emergency situations. Retailers often move them to high-margin pharmacy sections or pull them entirely when demand spikes. The psychological benefits are substantial too. Maintaining basic hygiene and oral health provides mental comfort and confidence when everything else feels chaotic and uncontrollable. Fresh breath and clean mouth sensations remind you that you're still human and in control of something. For maximum effectiveness, choose alcohol-based formulations that deliver serious antimicrobial power. Non-alcohol versions might be gentler on sensitive mouths, but they lack the disinfecting strength needed for survival situations. The alcohol content also makes these useful for general disinfection tasks beyond oral care. Stock 4 to 5 small bottles strategically distributed across your gear, vehicle, and home locations. Having backups ensures you're never without this critical resource. And the small size makes redundancy practical and affordable. The barter value is fantastic because mouthwash is something people don't think to acquire during emergencies, but desperately need once oral hygiene becomes impossible. A tiny bottle could trade for significant supplies when someone's dealing with dental pain or infection risk. In survival situations, it's not just about food, water, and shelter. It's about maintaining long-term health and preventing treatable problems from becoming life-threatening crises. That insignificant little bottle might seem worthless now, but when store shelves are empty and dental care is unavailable, it becomes worth its weight in gold. 8. Unscented baby wipes. The waterless cleanup solution. When water stops flowing from taps, staying clean transforms from basic routine into serious survival challenge. That's when unscented baby wipes evolve from infant care products into essential survival equipment for anyone who needs to maintain hygiene when showers and running water become distant memories. Baby wipes aren't just for babies. They're for anyone facing extended periods without access to soap, hot water, and modern sanitation facilities. Days or weeks without proper bathing leads to dangerous bacteria buildup, painful skin infections, unpleasant odors, and health risks that can completely sideline you when you need to stay functional. The versatility factor is absolutely incredible and often overlooked. These wipes clean wounds without requiring precious drinking water, sanitize tools and surfaces, refresh feet during long treks, provide emergency toilet paper when supplies run low, and maintain basic personal hygiene that prevents disease and maintains morale. Quality baby wipes are specifically designed to be gentle on sensitive skin while effectively removing dirt, bacteria, and odors. Unlike improvised cleaning methods, they won't cause irritation or allergic reactions that create additional health problems during stressful situations. These vanish from stores because experienced preppers and emergency professionals understand their true value. While masses panic buy toilet paper and paper towels, smart people quietly grab baby wipes. They're more versatile than single-purpose products, last longer in storage, and multitask better than almost any other hygiene item available. During major disasters, baby wipes disappear among the first wave of emergency purchases. Retailers frequently limit quantities or run out entirely when demand explodes. Supply chains for these products involve multiple manufacturing steps and specialized materials, making restocking during crises extremely difficult. The psychological impact of staying clean cannot be overstated. When you're sticky, sweaty, grimy, and surrounded by chaos, nothing provides mental relief like feeling clean and fresh. Basic hygiene maintenance preserves dignity, confidence, and mental health when everything else feels hopeless and uncontrollable. For optimal results, always choose unscented, alcohol-free versions. Scented wipes can attract insects or cause allergic reactions under stress. Alcohol-free formulations are gentler on skin, safer for wound cleaning, and have longer shelf lives without drying out. Stock multiple large packs distributed between your emergency kit, vehicle, and home storage. Having redundant supplies ensures you're never without this critical resource, and the relatively low cost makes extensive stockpiling practical for most budgets. The compact, lightweight packaging makes baby wipes ideal for bug-out bags and mobile situations where every ounce matters. Unlike liquid soaps or cleaning supplies, they won't leak, freeze, or create additional logistical problems. When you're dealing with survival stress and can't maintain normal cleanliness standards, baby wipes provide the next best thing to a real shower. In emergency situations, maintaining hygiene isn't about comfort or vanity. It's about disease prevention, mental health, and staying functional when lives depend on your performance. When the next collapse hits, survival won't just depend on the obvious stuff like food and water. Success will hinge on these overlooked essentials that most people completely ignore until it's far too late to acquire them. Heavy-duty aluminum foil, industrial rubber gloves, rechargeable hand warmers, backup reading glasses, industrial bug spray, manual coffee grinders, travel mouthwash, and unscented baby wipes. These aren't just nice-to-have conveniences. They're the critical tools that keep you healthy, functional, and ahead of the chaos when store shelves are stripped completely bare. The harsh truth is that stores won't warn you about these items. They'll quietly disappear into back rooms, get rationed exclusively for insiders, or get snapped up by the small percentage of people who understand their real value. But now, you're part of that informed minority. You've got the edge that separates survivors from casualties. Don't wait for panic to set in and prices to skyrocket. Stock up on these essentials while they're still readily available and reasonably priced. Because when the system breaks down, it's not just about barely surviving, it's about thriving and maintaining your humanity when everyone else is struggling and desperate. If this opened your eyes to what's really important during emergencies, smash that like button and subscribe for more survival insights that could save your life. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 8 items surprised you the most? And what other boring items do you think people overlook? Stay prepared, stay smart, and stay ahead of the chaos.